This video is to say I love my baby, and that's not like the little bundle of joy kind of baby, but actually my baby, my sweet love, my sweetheart, my apple of my eye, that kind of stuff. Love him to death. And I've had an interesting experience with relationships, with in general everything. Like this relationship and my general story of my life or something. I can't think of anything to explain that. But basically, I'm not the typical person. Don't have the typical... My face is too close to the camera. I don't have the typical experience that most people do in relationships. And so, my story might be interesting to some people who might even be in the same place I was, which is the evil thing that I call a long-distance relationship. And it's basically the relationship where everyone you know makes fun of you, like all the time. Everyone you meet makes fun of you because you're stupid enough to be in a relationship that's long distance. And believe me, Wes had the kind of sucky side of that, because everyone he knows was like, you're stupid and you're too young to be in a long distance relationship. It's not going to work. What are you thinking? You're stupid. So I give my heart out to all people who are in long-distance relationships, because I feel their pain, because it was awful. I mean, it was like the most awful thing in the world, and I hated it, but it was totally worth it, because here I am. Guess where I am? I am living in my sweetheart's room, which is kind of creepy sounding, because it's like I'm like hiding under his bed kind of thing and eating any crumbs I can get. No, I moved in with him, and that is like a huge accomplishment for me. It was like a dream that I'd been holding for years, and it happened. I mean, it's like the best thing ever, because I didn't think it was possible. And for most people, it really isn't, and I feel really sorry for people who don't have the opportunity I've gotten, which is to finally be reunited, be put into the situation where I can finally be with him. And yeah, very happy, very happy. And most people will not be able to handle it. I'm amazed that I even handled it. There'd be nights when I'd be really angry. I'd be so bitter and angry, and why does this have to be this way kind of thing. And obviously, when you're on the phone with someone and that's your only form of communication besides like IMing and texting, you kind of, things get a bit skewed. So it's not an easy relationship to have. I mean, someone says something, you can't really tell their tone of voice when they're typing it out. You think they're insulting you, you get pissed off at them, you call them, you rag on them for a few hours, and then you'll have a sob fest because you were stupid and they really didn't do anything wrong. And things like that happen in long-distance relationships. And so, it's like living in fear constantly. Well, no, it's not that awful, but it's like living in fear because, especially if you can't trust the person you're with. I mean, that is like the ultimate thing ever. If you can't trust the person you're with in a long-distance relationship, throw it out the window, because that's not going to work. I don't think it's possible for it to work if that was the case. But it's like, it's living in the dark. You don't know what your fiance/boyfriend or whoever it is over there is doing all the time. You want to know, because you're a stalker like me, and you ask them constantly, and you have to trust them enough to tell you. And most guys aren't too happy about that, unless they really love you and care for you and are into that kind of stuff. But most guys are like, leave me alone, I need my space or something. And a lot of girls are like that too, which is why a long-distance relationship is such a destructive thing usually, and why most people make fun of us for it. Because they don't understand why you have to text each other all day, why do you have to text them all day, why do you have to be on the phone with them constantly, why do you have to spend hundreds of dollars visiting them. They don't get it. And I don't blame them for not getting it, because it's the kind of thing where you won't get it until you're in it. And when you're in it, it's like the passion of your life. It's what keeps you together, it's the fiber of happiness, and it's what wakes you up in the morning, is to dial the phone number and be like, hi, oh my god, guess what happened today? And you live off that. You just like grow and become more and more happy with that. But that doesn't mean it's easy. No, not easy at all. But it's like say you're in school. Say you're like not in college yet, you're in school and you're in a long-distance relationship. First of all, your parents get to decide whether you can visit them or not, which is kind of murder. It's like stab in the heart kind of thing, because you rely on someone else to decide whether or not you can see the love of your life. And that's a very painful thing, because when they say no, you feel like they're trying to kill your heart, break it in half kind of thing. Because a month, 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, 5 months is a long time to wait to see someone. So I was very fortunate to have kind, understanding parents, which, although sometimes I was kind of a bitch about things, but let's pretend that didn't happen. But you have to rely on your parents, and also you can't visit them all the time because you have school. You can only visit them during the summer or during the breaks. And usually during your breaks, your family wants to spend time with you. So, kind of murderous, kind of scary, kind of when am I going to ever see him again kind of thing. And so, it's hard. For me, I would visit my sweetheart, my fiancé, my darling, my buttercup, my happy person, every 3 months, 4 months, if we had the money. Considering we didn't have jobs yet, we had to like scrounge all the money we could get, do chores all day. I literally had to do 46 hours almost. Wait, let me think. Yes, 46 hours of chores to pay for a plane ticket to get to see my fiancé. And when you're willing to do that just to see someone, that's love. I mean, there's some skewed people out there who think they're in love who aren't, but when you're willing to work your ass off for 46 hours just to spend it on a stupid plane ticket to go there and be there a week and be happy, that means you're truly in love. And that's kind of the good thing about long-distance relationships. It's like the trial of all trials. It's like going over an ocean and fighting demons and stuff to get, like, storybook stuff. I mean, because it's a day-by-day trial. I mean, day by day, you either grow apart or you grow closer. And it is an amazing trial. Because as a young person, it's not easy to save up money, and it's not easy to get permission to go visit someone who they kind of don't know yet. So it is very an interesting experience. And kudos to anyone who tries it, and anyone who's ever gone through it, especially when they're in 2 different countries. I cannot fathom how horrible that would be, because long-distance phone calls, the price to even visit each other is like murder. So, because I mean, $300 just to go like 2 states away is enough. So, and not to mention the ticket prices are getting further and further up. So, I'm going to make a part 2 of this. So that is the background of the happy, interesting, very trial-rific experience I've had.